Hello, hello. Welcome to ARMA League Season 3 Finals. Hanchans 5 and 6. I am joined by Veggie, which is
Hello, good evening.
we thought that the last week might be good for us to, to just to commentate together for once, because we've been doing one day individually. Might as well bring us together, and what better time to do it than the final weeks of the final series. Um, yeah, I'm super pumped. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Super. It's like the last week, so it all comes to a head now. Yeah, looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna bring us into the spreadsheet while we are waiting for the game to start. So these are the prizes. So we have first place getting $150 in gift vouchers, and the second place getting $100 in gift vouchers, and nothing for third and fourth. So the teams will be gunning for first or second place. Now, these are the These are the standings as we enter into the final four Hanchans. We do see quite a large margin between second and third place, almost like a 280 point gap. Not even almost, exactly a 280 point gap between second and third place. And between first and second place, we have something like less than 2 points between them. So the fight for first and second is pretty tight, but the battle for second place is it's going to be very, very difficult for Ron Devil Ron and Tanya Sensation.
Yeah, gap of 280 points over 4 games is closable, obviously, but there is a lot of work that needs to be done. But the Eva team definitely isn't out of it, at least going into this first round, John.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We may see a lot more aggression from Ron Devil Ron and Tanya Sensation, especially because that is the only way they're realistically going to be able to make it into make it into the top two, right? Like they're going to have to get
Mm-hmm.
4 first places if they want a shot, pretty much.
More or less, yeah.
So yeah, we may see a lot more aggression, and then we have to understand that the Itsuanko and AUNSW Wanderers, they're probably only playing for relative positions. They just want to do better than the other guy.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not in a position where they need to push too much, but yeah, they do want to just. They don't want to fall beneath the other guy. So they're not going to see completely passive play out of either team.
Yeah, mate. So I'll bring us over to the Tenho log as we await the start of the first Hanshan of this series. I always feel like I should introduce a sponsor. So we should get a sponsor next time. That way we can fill in the dead silence. Brought to you by.
Brought to you by Nishin Curry. Yeah.
We need our own instant noodle sponsorship where where like, if any player gets Chiho or Tenho, they get a lifetime supply of noodles, just like an M League.
Yeah, well, we'll try and get in contact with Migoreng for next season.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, we should be starting up fairly soon. We have Frosty in the East seat representing AUNSW Wanderers. I forgot the Moon Runes. I don't know which Moon Runes person this is.
This is. Well, I've been calling him Reika. Yeah.
Reika from Tanya Sensation in the South Sea. We have Miku from Ron Devil Ron in the West Seat, and Libe from Itsu Anko in the North Seat. I really want that to end perfectly, so that like when I ended my introduction, there we go. Yep, so we enter into the first Hanshan. Dora is the 2-man. Instant Shunpun here from Libe. Libe wanting to close things off with a fast hand.
Yeah, he said mark a Dora, but and a chance for pick up another Dora, but yeah, I mean it'd be good just to move it on. I think you've got Frosty in the dealership, and you really don't want him to get going.
We see sort of a Honitsu shift here for Reika. Reika even cheating that 7-pin. Very likely to be Bakahon, especially because of the 2 Hatsus in Miku's hand. But, Bakahon 2,000 points with on the dealership is never so bad.
No, it's more than acceptable, I think. And Frosty also choosing to open up will probably end up being waiting only on the east
Hmm.
from the looks of things.
I thought it was an interesting play that Frosty cheated their Ramen. So they're really relying on getting that ton at this point.
Yeah. And yeah, Reiko straight into Tenpai here. But
Tenpai for Libe for 7-man, and Niku does deal in to 2,000 points, Chun Dora 1. Moving on to East 2 with Reika's dealership. Dora 7-man. Looking around the hands here, what do we see? I think Frosty's probably got the most interesting hand, potential 3-4-5 Sanshoku chance.
yep, got the Sanshoku chance. You can even pick up Tanya pretty easily along the way, depending on draws. But yeah, other than that, will be interesting to see what Liebe decides to do with his hand if they get the time to really develop it.
1-man draw. How are they going to play this? Are they going to play very conservative? No, they're still playing a little bit of normal efficiency. 8-so draw for Frosty. 5-man draw puts Reika into Tenpai on the 2-pin for Chun only. Oh, Chun Dora 1.
Chun Dora 1. Yep, that's a little tidy dealership win if you can pull it off.
Frosty now in Ishan 10.
Yeah, and yeah, I still like this 3-4-5 Sanshoku, but it is a little bit far now.
7-so draw for Miku. Miku progressing forward has the potential 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku chance. Oh, that 2-pin draw. Will Reika take the Furry 10 1-3 4-pin weight, or will they take the still not Furry 10 4-pin? Or even 5-pin Tanki if they should have had to go that way. No, they cut it back. Still winning on the 4-pin.
Yeah, I don't mind either play really there. It's probably more or less similar odds.
Other players are still definitely a little behind at this point. Liebe still lots of Shanten away. Does cut the 4-pin into the dealer for Chun Dora 1, 2,900 points. Repeating Reika's dealership, which is fairly important, especially when you need lots of firsts, and especially if you can get a good cataclysmic first. That would be very, very ideal for Tanya Sensation.
Yeah, even as a dealer, Hanuman puts you in a very strong position. But it's easy to go even beyond that. Well, I say easy, but it's doable. He starts with a Dora in hand. Yeah, Haku as well for Miku.
Haku was immediately passed by Miku. Miku seeming to want a lot more value than just Haku pawning and going for something like Haku Dora 1. Seemingly they're starting to greed it up very early in the game when they have a lot more time to figure out what their positions will be later in the game. Oh, that's nice.
So rewarded for passing it up. We'd love to see that.
We love to see greed rewarded.
Miku, yeah, he does need points, as you said. We're looking for pretty much consecutive firsts, more or less. So,
apologies.
Yeah, like holding off the pawn to try and get some more value. It's good. I feel like it's pretty. It's a good play.
North is pawned by Frosty. Frosty wanted to pass on the dealership quickly, although he's left with some awkward tiles at the end of this. Not like there's any clearly defined shapes, especially because they don't really have a pair except for the 6-man. It's a very risky play. It puts them in a very fairly vulnerable position. But on the other side, they could take away Reika's dealership. Ooh.
Yeah. So Liebe now. It's actually, I thought it was like 2 Shanten, but I don't think it's even 2 Shanten.
I think it's 2. No, I think you're right. I think it is 2 Shanten. It's not. It's yeah, it's definitely 2 Shanten. Even from 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. But
yeah.
Alright, so 6-man is given to Frosty, puts them to Tenpai on the Kanchan 4-pin. Pay Nomi. Now, all the 4-pins are dead at this point.
Yeah.
So that is awkward. They could switch to the 6-pin, but on their perspective, the 6-pin is dead. Oh, is like 2 out. So probably don't want that. And that's also a dead tile, but they've sort of created a Nakasuji trap, which is nice. Libe progresses now in Ishan 10 if they decide to cut the 3 or 7 so.
Wouldn't mind seeing the 7-so come here. It
Oh.
chooses to go with the free setter.
Yeah. Probably choosing to cut the Suji of the 6 so rather than cutting something that's like completely live.
Like, yeah, completely live, yeah. Yep.
Would be my guess, that's for sure. 5 so that's a little bit awkward of a tile. They don't really want to cut that either. Oh, they got the 4-man. Yeah, they really don't want to risk themselves in here. 3 so draw.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah. Tenpai for Libe, 3-6 pin Tanyao Nomi. Ricci for Miku. Ricci Dora 1-3 pin is given to Libe. Libe taking a nice 2,300 point hand. Moving on the dealership. Tanya Sensation cannot be happy with losing their dealership like that, but
no. But yeah, they pretty much got stuck there. They couldn't really progress it and fell behind to the other players. So now Miku's dealership. So Miku, again also needs points. So we'll have to see how he decides to play the dealership. Obviously, you can Rentai and just sort of rack up points that way, but they might just decide to go for bombs.
Libe probably with the most direct looking high valued hand, but it's fairly awkward. Not really much conceivable Yaku in the way right now. Could be Tanya, but it's still far away. I could pair for Miku. Maybe they'll go for a cheap hand. Maybe.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like it depends on how they want to play it. I think, but yeah.
I agree.
And yeah, Raker's sort of just got a bunch of everything. no one's hands are really great, even a couple draws in. But yeah, now Libe has some good value. They do try to get for Tanya, I think.
Still a little bit far away from Tanya. It's a fairly undeveloped shapes on that direction.
Yeah,
Ishan
for
10
sure.
for Frosty, but it is weighing heavily on that 6-man, which we do see 3 of them already used up. But it could be upgraded before the moment of truth, I guess.
Yep.
Reika now making progress.
Yeah, if they can fill in the 1 free, so Kanchan, that's not too bad of a hand.
Yeah, although they're filling out the other shapes first, which is a little awkward for them, I suppose. Oh, okay. Round count, round bin, Ishan 10 here for Frosty. Nice. Dora draw for Miku. Now Miku has some decisions. 4 Dora for Libe. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are they going to take this 5-bit? No, they don't decide to take the 5-pin. Maybe figuring the Ricci is more of a realistic path, or maybe they just don't want to take the... Oh my gosh, they're on 6 Dora. Oh, sorry, they're on 5 Dora.
5 Dora. Hanuman before anything, yeah. Well, not quite, but with Ricci, it's Hanuman, yeah. But I don't see... Yeah, you open here for sure.
Yeah. Now they're Ishan 10 for the open Hanuman, which is disgusting. 3-man is offered, can't be taken. Where are these Hakus? We haven't seen a single Haku yet.
Yeah, completely buried. We didn't even get to see what decision Miku was going to take with this hand in the end.
Nice. Reika holding that 5 so and cutting the 8 so instead. It's going to be really important. We see that Libe has actually turned down the Hanuman for a better shape Ramen manga. Kanchan 8-man. Ooh, that's an title to draw.
Kanchan 7-man.
Kanchan 7-man versus Kanchan 8-man, but I do feel like Miku may get into a lot of trouble here unless they can get that Haku. Where are the 7-man 3-pin? Will they cut the 8-man here? Thinking that's a little bit safer than that 3-pin. But at this stage, we see... no, they do cut the 3-pin. Alright, keeping it up. 4-man is now cut, so 7-man just became Suji. 6-man is drawn. 8-man may come out here.
Yeah, it's hard to see. You can cut the... So...
Probably 8-man comes out before 6-man, but maybe they're thinking about cutting the Haku even. No, they cut the 7-pin. Really not wanting to go into danger here. 2-man is...
Yeah.
2-man is drawn, and that's Tenpai for Reika if they cut the 5-so. They choose not to cut the 5-so though. Man, these Hakus are really, really, really gone.
There's one, yeah.
There's one now. 2-man. Yeah, that's Noten for Miku, unfortunately. And that will be Frosty and Libe in Tenpai as we move on to East 4. 1,300 in the middle. Frosty waking up with a pretty completed hand. Oh my god, it's already Ishan 10.
It's amazing.
Reach pin Fedora 1 already? Good god. It was already Ishan 10 also for Miku. Miku actually had a double Richi chance if they drew either the Haku or the 6-pin or the 1-4-so. But they might be
wow.
really, really fast hands here. They might be able to upgrade to something a little more expensive. Oh, Tenpai here for Frosty. 1-pin, 7-pin Shabo. Will... Oh! Tenpai for Miku. Oh! The 1-pin does get cut. Do you like it to the Patsurichi Patsudora 1? Ura brings it up to a Mangan as we move into South 1. And that is a huge blow both to Miku and to Libe there.
Yeah, and yeah, now Frosty going into the next dealership with a strong lead. They can hopefully safely bring these points home for their team.
Oh, we have Ishan 10 already here for Miku with a pretty valuable Ishan 10. Reach Tanya Dora 1 perhaps.
Yeah, it's a nice look in Ishan 10 for sure. Liebe not too far off also. The potential for a bunch of there's one of them.
Oh yeah. 8-9 so does come out. Libe's got a pretty valuable hand there. They'll probably pawn the second pay and go for like Yaku Yaku Dora 1 for a 5,200 point hand. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. Will they keep the 310 Samenchan? They do keep the 310 Samenchan. Wanting to go for the Richi, prioritizing the Richi over the potential run chance. And even potential getting the pay and upgrading the value of their hand.
Yeah, and the pays were still live. Oh no, one
there's only one
cut immediately, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one pay left in the wall, which is probably what drove that decision.
Yeah.
Ishan 10, 4-7, so 2-5-man for Miku. Reika, also in Ishan 10, needs a Hatsu 3-pin, 2-5-pin, 1-man. Better Ishan 10 for Miku if they decide to take it, and they do decide to go for the more aggressive Ishan 10.
Yeah. I mean, I like going for the more aggressive Ishan 10s at this point. And Tenpai now for Reika.
Yep, Tenpai for Reika, 2-5-pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 tiles left in the wall for them. Unfortunately, well, Frosty can use both the 2 and the 5-pin. It could come out of Libe's hand fairly easily, and Miku. Oh, can't. Oh, Tenpai! Richi, after an uncan, Rich Tanya Dora 1, 2-5-man, 5-pin is Genbutsu. Would Frosty cut the 5-pin? No, they cut the 1. So 5-man is instantly drawn for Reika. Are they going to keep their Tenpai? Or are they going to cut the 1-man or the 4-man? Or even the 8-pin? They cut the 8-pin. It puts Sumo!
Oh, wow.
Oh my god! Reach of Hatsubo Dora 1. Tanya 1 Ura. It does make it a Hanuman, and that is really important for Run Devil Run. Launches them right into first place.
Yep, no, that's great for Miku and Run Devil Run.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving into South 2. South is the Dora. 1 South in Raker's hand. I think Libe probably has the scariest looking hand on this board right now.
That's a really fast looking hand.
Really fast, really expensive. Reach Tanya Pin Fedora 1.
Yep.
Oh
And
boy.
getting closer.
Getting
With
closer.
every draw.
Yeah, that is a terrifying hand right there. And they're already in a really, really strong Ishan. Is it an Ishan 10? Yeah. If they draw the 3-pin, then they're on a. Yeah, it's like a 3-pin, 6-9-pin. Yeah, 3-pin, 6-9-pin with upgrades if they draw along the Manzu.
Wondering what Raker's going to end up doing with this hand. Oh, they threw the South last turn. Okay, that sort of narrows it down. So it doesn't look like it's going G-Toy.
That's unfortunate, yeah, because I would have really liked that South for a Cheetoy. Reach Cheetoy Dora 2. Tsumo, Ura, Haneman. Oh, sorry, Tsumo, Haneman, Ura, Baiman. You know, all that casual stuff that you say to yourself whenever you have to do a Cheetoy.
Yeah. I guess going this way does allow them to open up into Toy sort of pushes if they want to do that.
Miku's decided to go for the hunt. Oh, don't tell me Suanko.
Oh. It's on the cards. The East is still alive.
Oh my god. Suanko. Yeah. Suanko is a way to flip this game on its head, that's for sure.
Dealer Yakuman here would be an amazing pickup for Tanya Sensation.
Absolutely. And it's not even bad as a reach Toy San Anko, right? Like, if you run someone, and especially if you're running either Frosty or Libe, it's 12,000 points right in the bank for you. Where are the 5-stars? 2 5-stars already gone. Okay, there's 1 4-pin and 1 ton. So Suanko is technically live.
Yeah, it's technically live, but we do need to find it.
Okay. Ishan 10 for Libe. Libe probably with the far more directly terrifying hand because it's good shapes and ridiculous value.
Yep, no, for sure. And yeah, Miku choosing to open here.
Yep.
Managed to put this to a Honitsu.
Yeah. Wants to go Yakuhai Honitsu Dora 1 Mangan. Where are these tiles? Especially the 3-6-man. I guess we have 3 gone and 6-man is so bad. Where are these? Where are these ones? Okay, and then we're still waiting on 1 4-star, and then the Ton and the Hatsu. Like, there's still 1 left of each. 4-pin, unfortunately, that kills the Suanko, but does leave Toy open. And fortunately for Reika, they can only get Toy Todd. So it's a 7,700 point run or a 4K old sumo. So it's like, it's good. It's good. No Toy no Toy onlys. Okay, Tenpai for Miku, waiting on the Ton, on the Haku and the Hatsu.
1 of each left.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh, that's an unfortunate tile to pick up. Ton Honitsu. Ton Toy, 7,700 points. Now putting Tanya Sensation in first place.
Yep. We're flipping the dealers around all around this table.
Oh
wow.
Wow, that was a good draw.
And Miku's hand is also quite fast.
But how greedy will Miku go with their hand? They are Ishanten right now, but I don't see them punting the first chun. They may punt the second chun, but I don't see them punting the first chun. Especially when they want that. Oh.
Yeah, no, I agree, but Frosty gets there first.
Yeah, Frosty had a ridiculous opener. Oh, Tenpai. 4-pin chun versus 1 4. So chun is immediately jumped by Frosty! Oh my gosh, this Hanchan is a complete like slugfest.
Absolutely zero holds barred.
Exactly. Oh my god. And this is exactly what we wanted to see in the finals, because these, like, say the results hold as they are, barring that, like, either Ron Devil Ron or Tanya Sensation switch places, slash Itsuanko and ANSW switch places. This is kind of what we want as a more interesting finals, right? It brings that gap really closer, and then, like, if it holds until tomorrow, who knows how tomorrow will end up looking like. Maybe the top two teams won't be so fearless when they think about the Tanya Sensation or Ron Devil Ron.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. As soon as you've got, when you're looking at a nearly 300-point gap, you're feeling kind of safe, but all of a sudden that gets brought down 70 points this game, and then 70 points the next game, and all of a sudden it's not very comfortable at all.
Exactly.
Boom.
So we have a 4-man pawn here. Frosty going for the Tanyao Dora 1, but is a little bit heavy on the 4-pin here. And it would be a little awkward if they draw the 1-pin. Thankfully for them, 3 of the 1-pins are already gone.
Yep. Probably looking to just take this away from Miku and minimize the pain.
And also, like, a part of it is probably that, like, if they can leave Libe in last place, that's fine for them. They don't need a first. They just want Libe last.
Yeah, exactly. As we said before, they're just looking to be above Itsuanko, or Itsuanko's looking to be above AU and SW.
Exactly. Oh, 4-pins are that's a really nice draw. 4 7-man Tenpai for Tanya Doro 1. I think there's 4 7-mans left, and they do similar 501k. And better for them, that makes Libe's life fairly difficult, because
especially opening with a Haku Anko as well.
Yeah. And how greedy will they go? Will they even go, like, cheap to, like, try and end it with Itsuanko in last place? Or are they going to go expensive and try to secure it, maybe even trying to get a first place? And they're going for that Honitsu, which the viable path to a fold here.
Yeah, you can play it either way. Oh, they do open though. So less foldy now, but obviously you can still sort of fold either way.
Ooh, Tenpai for Miku! 2-pin Hatsu. That's early and that's deadly. Hatsu does not look that bad on this board, because you don't have many options. Like, Reika could be in a lot of trouble unless they're willing to cut the 8-so and say, they are willing to take apart their hand. So what I was gonna say was that Reika kind of has an awkward decision, because they need first place. So giving up completely is a little awkward. But their natural fold path would have been the natural path to be half in, half out would have been the Hatsu cut, which would have dealt it.
Yeah, it still might come out. As you said, they don't really want to fold. And
and it does come out. And this is an interesting outcome. Reach Hatsu Aka, 6,400 points. More importantly, this leaves... These are a few conditions that were met. Ron Deveron got their first place, and Libe got last place. And you could see this gap. Look at this huge gap that was closed. That's like that's 100 points closed in a Hanchan. That's massive.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's huge. It's like, this is why it's just like these first, and it's so big, because you're closing 70 to 100 points, usually on average, higher if you haven't taken a huge first.
Exactly, and that's just, well, that's amazing. Like, that's such a good outcome for Ron Devil Ron there, and it's a really good outcome for ANSW Wanderers. It really means that they are very, very likely to be in the money. Whether they get first or second is a little bit up in the air, but, like, not taking that last there makes it really hard for them to be knocked out of the top 2. That's really, really good for them.
Yeah, so that was what? That was minus 40 for Itsuanko.
Minus 40 for Itsuanko, plus roughly 60 for Ron Devil Ron, and it was only minus, I want to say, about 20 for...
Yeah, I think it was even less than that. I think it was like minus 10 at most.
No, I think it was minus 20. Generally, the third places are not as nice, because all of the float goes somewhere else.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, no, that's a really good outcome. I think we're about to bring on Miku, but I'm just gonna get this log kicked up.
Yep, yep.
Wait. Hello, Miku. Congratulations on that win.
Thank you.
So,
Well played. I was an absolute slug, but yeah, you got through.
yeah, that was a slug.
Intense.
Yeah. So, before we kick off with our stuff, was there any hands that you wanted to talk about?
Maybe on my dealership or the tone deal in hand.
Oh, this one, right? This one?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, so what were your thoughts?
I had the AK temper and the Huts and Haku were pretty alive, I think. So the tone is one card, right? So I just kind of pushed it. I didn't. During the tone, I was like, maybe it was a 1.5k hand. I didn't expect to be 20 stuff.
Well, yeah, you were definitely right. The Hatsu and the Haku were both live in the wall. Were they?
Yeah, and I had the
No, they were
Aka
both
is
dead.
maybe 1.5 or 2.9 hand, but
Yeah.
didn't expect to be doing 7/7. So.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I guess
Wow,
they had
Haku and Huts.
they were both in the dead wall.
Oh my god.
It was actually a lot scarier than you expected because your Kamicha was almost Swanko. They were Swanko and they had one ton and one 4-pin left in the wall until your Toyman cut the you cut the 4-pin. So yeah, it's a little scary. Yeah, Veggie, did you have?
Oh, so go on, yeah.
No, we had to get the first, so I think I had to cut it right.
Yeah, I mean, like, definitely it's justifiable to cut, especially because of the overall point situation. 8K Tenpai live.
You need your team needs points, and it's one cut. It's usually not terrible, but yeah, no, I fully expected to see you cut it, and you did. That's just how it goes.
Instantly cut. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even count the tone.
Yeah, no, like it got drawn, and I was like, yeah, that's that.
Veggie, do you have anything you wanted to comment about during the Hanchan?
Just double checking. It was kind of hard to say. Like a lot of this was just like like Ipatsu after.
I reached a lot.
Ipatsu, Richi Patsumo. You had a Ipatsu after a Richi from your Toyman. Like
I reached a lot, like 5 or 6 times.
Sometimes
the flow's with you. What can you say?
Exactly. Sometimes you gotta redisc it for the biscuit. I think for me, the fairly interesting hands were probably when you had chases. I can't remember.
Oh, this one?
No, it wasn't this one. It was probably this. Yeah, this one. Right? This one was the most interesting hand to me. Especially when you drew this 6-man over here, and considering the overall point situation, did you ever consider cutting the 8-man?
Oh, the 8-man looks really dangerous to me, so I didn't. It was the last option to cut 8-man, and I couldn't cut the Hakura. So I chose to go 6 and 7 pin to have a chance to still get Tenpai. Because I really want to keep my dealership, but I'm not ever cutting 6-man or 8-man.
So you are comfortable cutting the Dora for this Tenpai rather than cutting
the Dora seems pretty safe to me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you consider this.
You can see all the 5 pins and the 2 6-pin were out as well. It was really hard to deal in the 6-pin.
That makes sense.
Wait, can you ever deal in 6-pin here? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, all the 6-pin. Yeah, you can see all the 6-pins and all the 5 pins. The 6-pin is safe, so I chose to go 6 and 7 pin.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
think you can. Yeah, you're right. There's no way that this 6 or 7 pin deals in. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. And then everything else was sort of just like a slugfest. You kept reaching, and then someone else would win, and sometimes you would win.
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed this. This was fun.
The count to reach.
Yeah, carded to reach. That was fun.
Yeah. No, it was great.
But yeah, no. Congratulations on your win. Oh, what's up?
Thank you.
Oh no. Sorry.
I was right. He didn't doing the 2-5.
The last thing, he had that the double reachy chance as well.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's a chance, and I chased, and he doing the A-pass, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that one he won.
Yeah, that one I think someone else sumoed. I thought.
Yeah, he's for
tournament mode. I always calculate tournament reach and hit mode. I think.
Yeah, you had the double reach chance.
And then yeah.
Yeah, this was there was just a lot of just like very very early row reachies, no information for anybody kind of thing. So yeah, it was it was quite a slugfest. But yeah, congratulations on your win. Really important for Ron Devil Run. Best of luck to your team, and hopefully they carry it through.
Thank you. Bye.
Well played. See ya.
See ya.
So I don't know if anyone. Okay, someone did update the points. Okay, let's have a look at the points.
They've been updated. So we now have Ron Devil Run 180 behind Itsuanko.
Mm-hmm.
And Itsuanko now 27 points behind AUNSW.
Yeah, so Itsuanko and AUNSW are still kind of in their own plane, but like, hey, look, if there's another first-last differential between Ron Devil Run and Itsuanko, like all of a sudden, like Ron Devil Run's in the running for the money. Tanya Sensation is still in a fairly difficult position, unfortunately. Now they've only got 3 Hanchans, and they've got to make up a 250-ish point gap between them and second place. So that's they got to make an 80 difference. So for them, it's not only about getting the first place; they have to make sure that Itsuanko gets last place.
Yeah, it's a bit of a climb. Unfortunately, even with this game, even if they got a second place, it was a pretty weak second, so it didn't really do much.
Yeah, I think they got like a +2 or something like that.
Plus 4.2.
Plus 4.2, yeah. So it didn't really like help them out too much. I definitely expect PKO to go really, really, really really hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if they want a chance, they just need to push and just just go for it and just rack up points.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go on a bit of a break. It's going to be a pretty long break because that Hanchan ended so quickly.
That was a 25-minute Hanchan or something.
Yeah, it was a 25-minute Hanchan. So we're going to be back on the hour in about 20 minutes. Please stay tuned. We will be right back for the 6th Hanchan of the ARMA Team League Finals. See you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
Hello, welcome back to ARMA League Finals Series, Hanchans 6. Oh, this is going to be a good game. We had a good game last game, and I'm hoping for a good game this game. So, I am once again joined by Richie. Hello, Richie.
Hello.
So,
Looking forward.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty sick. So, as we enter into the final Hanchan of today, we have Abraham from Itsuanko in the East Seat, Frosty from AUNSW Wanderers in the South Seat, Jeff Orange from Ron Devil Run in the West Seat, and Tanya 1K from Tanya Sensation in the North Seat. Oh, it's gonna be quite a game, and if we see a similar swing to like what happened last game, even if like let's say AUNSW Wanderers takes the last place instead of Itsuanko, it's gonna make the last week a lot more interesting. It makes it definitely a lot more dangerous as well for those top two teams.
Yeah, no, they've got to pay attention because a strong first and kind of bad last from either one of them is going to put them right in their heels, and you're running the risk of not only like dropping out of first, but also dropping out of any sort of money spot.
Exactly. Tanya 1K is in the unenviable position where they pretty much need a first place to get to have a shot of the top two next week. And Jeff Orange is in a pretty similar situation. He has to kind of come first for a shot of the money. So we're entering into a Hanchan. Eastward, Dora is the 9 so. Immediately what pops out to me is Jeff with the pair of West Winds and the 2 Akadora. That's probably a pretty big one. Another pretty big one is also Tanya 1K on our left here with a pretty nice hand.
Yeah, no, it's a nice hand for them to start with. You've obviously got the Tom Peb and the Akadora, but you've also got distant Itsu lines. Probably not anymore, but yeah.
Now they're rallying. They rallied to also a Cheetoy Ishan 10, but how happy is Tanya 1K gonna be with the Cheetoy? I mean, I guess it is Tenpai, but Cheetoy is gross.
Yeah, Cheetoys. Yeah, you'd want better if you can, but I mean, you take it if it's offered, and it is.
It is offered. Cheetoy Tenpai for Tanya 1K does reject it. Maybe they're even going for the Honitsu here. So they just form on Cheetoy Dora 1, happy to take the run, and then maybe they'll even like if the Ton comes out, they pawn it in their Ishan 10 for like a Ton Honitsu Dora 1 Mangan.
Yeah, no, I don't mind this Dhamma at all. I think it's more than acceptable. And Jeff did find his West Wind, so going straight towards that West Dora 2.
Ishan 10 also for Abraham. Now in a much better Ishan 10. It's an ideal Ishan 10 now. Dealer Ricci is always a little scary. It would be a Ricci Nomi, but it is Dealer, and it's always a little terrifying.
Yep.
Jeff.
Always have to respect the dealer Ichi when it's thrown down, and in fact, Tanya 1K also chooses the Ichi, swapping their weight to the one. So
So switch the weight to the one so, and the one so is actually a little bit vulnerable in Jeff's position right now.
yep.
Because like they don't really have that much safety. I mean, I guess the 9-pin is probably their best first tile. Then after the 9-pin, what are they gonna do? Oh no, they cut the one so. So they relied on the early 3-so cut, hopefully giving information, but it does deal in, unfortunately. Reach apart Chitoi Aka. Ura 2, 12,000 point hand. That is a brutal hit for Jeff.
Yikes.
Moving on to East 2, and that's an amazing hit for Tanya 1K. That, that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, Anamonta opens, exactly what they're looking for.
So, as we go into East 2 with Dora as the 3-pin.
Dealer, it's a bit awkward. You can accept the Dora, but you pretty much are looking specifically for it.
Yeah.
And the 5-pin, that's good. Yeah.
That's a really, really good draw here for Abraham. Puts them into a pretty nice Ishan 10, and a pretty interesting one if they draw the 9-pin as well. Could be a Sanshoku chance.
Yep, I'd like to see a Sanshoku for sure. 9-pin is 2 left in the wall currently, so it's not impossible. A little less now. Just looking around the table, it feels like it's a little bit difficult for anyone to open up this hand. So it's going to be a matter of who does find their tempo first.
Yeah.
It'll probably be Abraham, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Jeff has probably got the most dangerous looking hand with the 3 Dora and the potential Sanshoku. Sometimes it's a little awkward, but sometimes it's Sanshoku. Yep. Ishan 10 for Frosty and as dealer, and especially if they end up on that north. Oh, it would have been on the north 7-so way, but unfortunately both the norths are just gone. Tanya unfortunately doesn't really have anything to work with in their hand. It's a little awkward and clunky, but that's not so bad. It's they can play very conservatively if they choose to. 8-so is a good draw for Frosty. Puts into a Penchan, a 3-pin Tenpai, or Richi Dora 1.
Yeah, and again, just sort of waiting on that door. It's kind of how that hand was shaping up, regardless. So we'll have to see. So we've got 2 of them left in the wall. So not a hard find, but obviously if people draw them, they'll probably see him sit in everybody's hand, I imagine.
Yeah. It's fairly unlikely for any of these players to want to cut it against Frosty, but Frosty Tsumo's in, especially if they Tsumo and then hit an Ura, that'd be pretty big. Technically Suji now, but it's a little dicey.
It'll matter, I guess, if players run out of Genbutsu, they are folding. You tend to trust Suji a little bit, if nothing else. If nothing else.
I guess it's the problem with 3s are that like they just have so many shapes that are they don't have to be Suji, but will deal in Penchans, Kanchans, even Shabos. It's a little iffy.
Yes.
Still 2 3-pins left in the wall for Frosty. Pretty live weight. I think that's an Ishan 10 for Tanya 1K, and it would be an Itsu as well if they. Well, actually, no matter what side they draw, if they get to Tenpai, it'll be an Itsu Tenpai.
They will have to cut some scary tiles to get there.
No, and they do decide to cut the 1-so, not wanting to cut those scary tiles. 4-pin is offered to Jeff. Will Jeff take it? Jeff decides to take it. Seems like they're going for K10. 3-pin is drawn by... Oh! Okay, the 3-pins just died.
There we go.
The 3-pins just died in one shot. So yeah, that does push away the 3-pins, unfortunately, which means that Frosty's hand is now dead. Also draw...
Trying to see if there's any way any of these free pins come out, it feels very unlikely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Tenpai for Abraham. Still a shot at Tenpai for Tanyao. Or could be Khan. Oh, no Tenpai, unfortunately, for Jaff. So we do have Frosty as the only Tenpai. And that would be nice. Keeps their dealership, gains 1,000 points each. As we move on to East 2, we have 1,300 points in the middle. Dora is the 6th man, and we immediately open it with Abraham, 3 Dora in their hand. But the hand's a little bit slow with the 7-9 pin and the 6-8, so.
Tanya 1K also with 2 Dora.
Yeah, but their hand's also a little bit slow. Frosty's hand is okay. I think Jaff's hand is by far the fastest, but it's extraordinarily cheap.
Yeah. It's a good start for Frosty there, the free pin. But yeah, I imagine we'll probably see Jaffa hit the early Tenpai and just throw the Ruchi stick in.
Yeah, but they could even get for the 3-4-5 Sanshoku if they draw it very, very well. The Shah pair here for Tanya 1K is going to be very good, especially for cashing in those 2 Dara. Shah Dora 2 is good. That pair of Tons is really good for Abraham. Now they're also in Ishan 10 for Chitoy Dora 4. Oh, they take the pawn. They take the Ton pawn though, so you know, no longer Chitoy Dora 4, but still scary. Ishan 10 for Jaff. Ideal Ishan 10. But unfortunately, they drew kind of the dummy end of their kind of the dummy end, so there's no longer 3-4-5 Sanshoku chances.
Yeah. So the value's almost non-existent apart from, Ipat's sumo Euro shenanigans.
Yep, and Tenpai for Abraham, 3-pin, 6-man Shabo, Tenpai. Tenpai for Jaff. Jaff takes the Richi, 3-6 pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. No 3 pins left in the wall. 3 6 pins left in the wall. No 6 mans. Abraham is unfortunately swimming on dry land at this point.
Yep, he's gonna have to rely on a weird cut from one of the opponents.
Now here's an interesting scenario. Tanya 1K, if they drop that 3 pin, Abraham will take it as an Atamahane.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it feels like it'd be so strange to see that 3 pin come out. I guess it could happen if you hit a Tenpai, but
we also saw that Abraham just rejected the 1-4 pin Tenpai in favor of the 3-pin 6-man Sharpo, which is good. And 3-pin will deal into Abraham for Tondora 5? Tondora 4. Yeah,
Tondora 4.
Yeah.
I know it is Dora 5. No, it is Dora 4.
Oh, it's Dora 4.
Counting is hard.
Yeah, 8,000 points. And Abraham, that was a good dodge from him, not cutting the 3-pin, which would have dealt into Jaff for, I think it would be in Richinomi. So we move on to East 3, and we already see an interesting decision from Jaff. Jaff cutting their 6-7 pin realm, and they are determined to go for the Honitsu here because they want value.
Yep. Dealer, it's your first dealer, you open up with basically a Honitsu already.
Oh, that's technically Chitoya Shanten.
I'm pretty sure Jaffa hates Chitoy.
I hate Chitoy too. But, technically is Shanten.
I guess that's the question. Do you want to go for your Chitoy Shanten on dealership when you're already in last place, or would you prefer to go, for Honitsu, Chun, maybe East one day?
Double East Chun Honitsu or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's got an interesting issue here for Frosty, because Frosty doesn't actually know what kind of Honitsu this is. They kind of just know that Pinzu is... Okay, now they're going to know it's a Sozu Honitsu. But that's like... it's always like the little teetering point, is like you're not 100% sure if it's like Sozu or Manzu, and you're like, well, do I ever cut the Sozu? They do cut the Sozu. And that gives Jaff Ishan 10. Yeah. Jaff now in Ishan 10 for Chun Honitsu. Maybe if they can draw the ton, it'd be double ton as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the 3 Sos are dead at this point. So a little bit of a scary hand for them. Abraham and now Ishan 10. A really good Ishan 10 as well. Very, very wide and very valuable. And also, another added value to that hand is it's in the offsuits. Like, if they get into Tenpai, Jaff is very, very likely to deal in. That is the worst Tenpai that they could have gotten.
I can imagine them just refusing that, yeah. Because I feel like I would refuse that.
That was like the saddest Tenpai. Alright, Tenpai therefore Jaff 6 9-so 3-so. 1 9-so and 3 6-sos left in the wall. And now the tables are slightly flipped. Abraham is now in the awkward position where if they draw either the 6 or the 9-so, they may cut it straight away, especially... Or maybe not the 6-so. They can use the 6-so. But the 9-so is very, very hard to use for them, and it's not unlikely they'll cut it straight away. They can cheat here for a 2,000 point Tenpai, and they do decide to take it. 3 6 man for Tanya Dora 1. Wants to end Jeff's dealership.
2 6 man, 1 free man left.
So it's a 3v4 right now?
Yes.
2-so Tenpai for Tanya 1k. Actually on a Tanya 1k hand. For once.
For once, yeah.
For what? I don't feel like he gets Tanya 1k that often. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, 6 9 man. Unfortunately, 9 man has no Yaku, so it'd be a 6 man only wait. But they would, if Jaff draws it, they will take the win away from Abraham. So that's the interesting part.
Frosty is also inching closer towards Tenpai as well, also potentially winning on a 9 man.
Yep. 2-so is cut. 3 man is drawn, and that kills one side of Abraham's weight. 9 man is cut, can't be run. 8-pin could have been Diamond Khan, but is skipped by Abraham. Still
that
waiting.
Would have been spicy.
That would have been spicy. So we're still waiting on the, I believe, 2 6 months, and that is drawn by Tanya 1k. So 300, 500 points for Tanya 1k. More importantly for them, ending Jaff's dealership as we go into East 4. East 4, and Abraham wakes up with a really, really gorgeous hand. 2 Dora, amazing shapes. Maybe even 3 4 5 Sanchoku chance, or 2 3 4 Sanchoku is pretty. That makes it even better.
So that's so good, yeah.
They're in probably the best Ishan 10 they could possibly be in.
Yeah, it's a hand even can accept more Dora if you would happen to draw it. It's so nice.
That hand is absolutely ridiculous for them. So yeah, Jaff's not really doing much. We have potential 1 2 3 Sanchoku chance for Frosty. Frosty could also pawn that. Okay, doesn't take it. That is probably the best draw they could have gotten. Now the only draw that's better than this is he puts somewhere on the Aka 5-so.
Oh boy.
It's still live. It's still live. Ishan 10 for Tanya 1k if they're willing to push the 7 man. Could push the 2 man as a middle ground, so they do decide to go for the middle ground option. 3-so draw for Frosty inches them closer to Tenpai. Still 2 Shanten away.
Yeah. I think Jaff is probably just gonna fold this hand away.
Tanya 1k's also got a pretty ridiculous hand, all things considering. They've got Sanshoku Ipeiko.
Yeah, it's looking really nice.
Yeah.
If they do happen to manage to convert on it.
Pretty interesting decision here from Frosty. Frosty cut the Hatsu instead of the Ton. They are completely, almost like they're capitulating the hand. They don't want to get themselves into any danger.
Yeah, it's, I guess, pushing a Ton at this point. You still haven't seen a single one. And you've got to reach in the table. It's a little bit spooky. Well, I imagine this one will come from Tanya 1k. But
reached Simo Pingfu Dora 2, not the Takame, but 1 Ura will make it a Haneman. And they do hit that Ura, and that's an important Haneman there for Itsuanko.
Itsuanko, unfortunately for Tanya 1k, having to pay the dealer payment on the Haneman. Puts him back down to under starting points. So
Mm,
the two people that were looking for have strong Hanchans entering into the south round, third and fourth here.
yeah. Abraham also waking up with such a gorgeous hand here, which is going to be pretty important, especially because Frosty's hand is pretty garbage in comparison. Jeff's hand is okay, it's just a little bit slow in comparison, and Tanya 1K's hand got fixed up by that 6-0 draw. Gives them a really strong 6-7-8 Sanshoku chance.
Yeah, and yeah, so Frosty's hand goes from bad to worse. He's by far the slowest in this hand, and definitely gonna be in trouble at some point, depending on tempos.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If Jaffa can find the right draws, this hand has the potential to be really good.
Oh, that is part 1 of the right draws. Seven-man cut here. It's a 2-5 pin, 3-so, 2-3-man Ishan 10. And ideally, they'd want to draw the 3-so. They're going to go for the Intotsu, reach Tanya Dora 2. Very unlikely they'll even fold for anything in this hand as well. So we may see that. Oh, wow. 2-man drop here could also give them pinfu chances. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
Looking
Jeff's
really good.
Yeah, Jeff's caught up immediately, and Abraham's hand just got awkward while Jeff's hand caught up. Itsu chance there for Tanya 1K, but does need to draw that 4-so.
5-so for Jaff has improved the weight. And yeah, Itsu for Tanya 1K can bring his hand value up quite significantly.
That's one of those tiles that you think makes your hand better, but it really doesn't.
Yeah, it does absolutely nothing.
Yeah. You look at it, you're like, this should make my hand better, right? And then you're like, wait, no, never mind.
I think the only thing to consider is if you kept the 6-pin, dropped the 3-pin, you could have a 4-5-6 Sanshoku.
Potentially, but the 3-pin is the Dora, so
yeah.
they're probably more likely to go for the
So
guaranteed
that's
one
the
Dora.
thing, yeah.
One pin drop for Abraham. Abraham now in an Ishan 10 as well. Their hand is a little bit awkward after that one pin drop, actually.
Now you're forced to drop another Pinzu at some point. More or less, unless you pair it, but
I think you actually maintain a 2 Shanten, whereas if you drop the 2-so, then you're Ishanten, at the very least. Still behind from Tanya 1K. Frosty's hand looks... You know what? Frosty's hand looks like a good hand if he opened up with it.
yeah.
It looks good. Oh, sorry, that is a 2 Shanten one. Alright, so Tenpai for Abraham, Tanya, Dora 2, maybe Takame Sanshoku as well, so potential 12,000 point hand if they can get that 2-pin. How many 2-pins are there left? 1, 2, 2. Oh, okay. Enough.
There you go. Enough 2-pins are left. Yeah.
Enough 2-pins are left. All you need is 1. And they had 2. So they do win that. Tanya, Sanshoku, Dora, Aka. 4,000 points all. And that puts them in a very, very strong first place going into this game.
Yeah. And with Itsu Anko in first and currently Rondeveron in last, it's going to be really hard if the positions stay this way to have the top 2 shift afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. And then it would definitely end up being that thing where now Frosty is quite concerned with how well Itsuanko is going. It just almost takes away their first position away from them at that point. Oh, so it would take their first position if the points stay this way and be quite difficult going into next week.
You're forced to play quite aggressive, actually. Or at least against Itsuanko specifically. So looks like Jaffa here is thinking about the Honitsu. Abraham, his hand is sort of... It's not terrible, but you're really hoping for a Chun. Just to simplify things.
Hmm.
And Tanya 1K, this hand as well. It's got Dora. It's got, it's got potential, but it's just it's a bit awkward to get the Tempai, I think.
Yeah, it's like got Sanshoku chances, especially after that 3-man draw. It's very valuable, but all the paths to Tempai are awkward. Chun draw there for Abraham is quite valuable. Now an Ishan 10. I'm getting quite curious what happens if they draw the 7-man. Will they cut the 1-2 pin, maybe? Or will they cut something like...
If you draw the 7-man...
they cheat the 7-man, okay. So they cheat the 7-man. Now their hand is going for maybe Chun Chanta? Or maybe just Chanta
Chun
only?
Chanta. Yeah, either or for sure. No. Okay, so I think, yeah, you kind of, if you get a 9 so offered, cut the 2-pin, but...
Chun Chanta.
Chun Chanta, yeah.
Sha is pawned by Jaff. Jaff edging towards Tempai. Honitsu Dora 1. Could be Honitsu Dora 2 if they can get a 2-so, but there's 2 of them left in the wall, and they're very unlikely to get it from Frosty, who's playing quite conservatively. That being said, though, Frosty is in Ishan 10 and doesn't want Abraham to go off the rails. It might not see their red type position in threats. They may cut the 2-so even just to try and deny it. 2-pin is cheated by Tanya 1K. Tanya 1K going for the open Sanshoku Dora 3. But they're going to need a lot of help getting there.
Yeah, they need a head still.
Oh, that's
as well.
Okay, so this is the awkward part. Is now they're on a 2-so Hanchan for Sanshoku Dora 3. Dora 4, I guess. With 1 2-so left, and very few players are willing to cut the 2-so into the Sozu Honitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
There was a chance for Tanya 1K to switch into the 1-4-7-man, with only the 4-7-man being the live weight. 8-so is taken. And that puts... Jeff could take a 1-4-7-so Tempai, and then you decide to... Oh, 7-so is immediately drawn by Tanya 1K, and it deals in! Oh.
Yeah. Tanya 1K in that unenviable position, they have to kind of push anyway, because their team does need points.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that does deal into Sha, Honitsu, Dora to 8,000 point hand. Jeff's still in a pretty awful position, but it's points. It's something.
It is something, yeah. Run Devil Run needs points here to try and close that gap. And Itsu Anko, yeah, even as it currently sits, you're sitting 37,000 points behind. No, 47,000 points.
5-so cheated by Frosty, and I think that's be an interesting decision. They're basically going for like a Tanya Dora 1. They're almost capitulating the hand to be cheap for them, but Jaff here going for potential Chinitsu. It's gonna make it difficult for Frosty if they ever have to get rid of the 4-pin, 8-pin. Oh boy.
Yep, it's gonna happen, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. For Frosty, this hand was probably going to Tanya anyway. Guess you try and speed it up, but yeah, now you're feeding Jaffa, and that's always a scary bit.
7-man draw here for Abraham. Abraham, probably the best possible draw for them. For Aka, 5-so draw. 3-pin draw. Oh my gosh, everyone's progressing at the same... everyone is progressing at the same schedule. It's quite good.
Yep, that's also a...
Will Frosty drop the 8-pin now they see the opportunity? They do drop the 8-pin, and that's going to be cheated by Jaff. Jaff now Ishan 10 for Chinitsu.
Chinitsu... Yeah, Chinitsu Dora 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was like, surely he has a Dora in there somewhere. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Fortunate Hatsu only win there for Tanya 1K. Taking apart Jeff's hand, and now we enter into South 3. Jeff's got that one last dealership to make it work, and that is not the hand you want to see when you need things to work for you. Tanya
Wow.
1k. Awkward hand. Hatsupehi for Abraham, very much in their court.
And a non-pair for Frosty.
Yeah, this is very much looking like this hand just gonna be washed away for Jaff, which is probably the worst case scenario for them.
Yep. No, yeah. I'm trying to look at Jeff's hand. It's like, what when you see this hand, what do you think? Maybe 987 Sanshoku, but even that's kind of pretty far. Chanta, Junchan, like it's none of it's great.
It's all too slow compared to Abraham and Frosty's hand. I think that's the worst part.
Yep.
It's far too slow. We can even see Frosty there going for Atazuke. They just want to end Jeff's dealership. Move on.
Yeah. 100%. You're looking. You've got last place, and you just want them to be done. You don't want them to have any chance at going 4-5 Honda and just drawing the deficit back.
Exactly.
So yeah, even Tanya 1k here can open up and move the dealership on. It's in their best interest to do the same. It's all not looking great for Jaffa.
Yeah, not at all.
Tanya 1k now Ishan turn.
Eiso's pawn. We got a Hanchan 4-pin for Tanya 1k. And one 4-pin left in the wall, but Frosty may cut the 4-pin sometimes to just pass on Jeff's dealership. Sort of like just being like, if this deals in, it's fine. If this doesn't deal in, it's also fine. That kind of mentality.
Yeah, you're looking. If you're looking at this board, you're thinking, what can it deal into? What's actually expensive here?
Exactly.
You see.
There we go, and we saw the 4-pin cut on purpose to try and just end Jeff's dealership. Moving us along to South 4. Now, Abraham is almost certainly going to take first place. It's just about what positions can these other players take. Jeff probably wants a second place. Well, I mean, yes. Jeff wants more points if possible. And they've got a pretty good hand to do it as well. Reach, Ipeco, Dora. If they smell it, that'll get them into second place, guaranteed. Tanya 1k has to keep winning. And Frosty's in a position for just a Tanya shutdown.
Yeah. Each of these players have a pretty clear line of what they need to do for this hand.
4-pin is pawned by Tanya 1k. Tanya 1k going for another Tanya 1k.
Yeah, it's another situation where I feel like your hand's gonna wind up being Tanya only anyway. Like, apart from having other closed Yaku, so you might as well just speed it up.
Yeah.
You don't want to run the risk of someone catching up and dropping you to last.
Abraham in Tanya Ishanten needs the 2-5 mon or something to connect the 3-pin off with, or even like a 6-mon pawn. 6-mon or 7-pin pawn. 7-pin Dora draw for Frosty is a little bit scary. So fortunately, Jeff's not really making any progress there. Tanya 1k could get into Tenpai on time. That's a little bit dicey. Even better Ishan 10 for Abraham. Now Tenpai waiting on the 2-5 mon. Then unfortunately, Jeff's 5 mon is a little bit vulnerable there.
Yeah, if Jeff finds a way to drop that 5 mon, it'll come straight out, and that'll be the end of the Hanchan.
Yeah, it will be. Sure. I think a 4 or 7-mon draw would be quite a disaster for Jeff at this point. Five-pin would be cheat by Frosty. Frosty doesn't take the chi. Ooh, that's a little bit rough. Okay, no cut yet. Hanchan 4-man switch for Tanya 1k. So now they're on Tanya. Oh, unfortunately, they've drew the 2-man, so they're dealing in either. Yeah. Deals into Tanya 1k, 1,000 points, and that puts Abraham in first place, Frosty in second place, Tanya 1k in third place, and Jeff Orange in last place. Will we get an interview from Abraham? I don't think he's come on for interviews before.
I don't believe so.
Doesn't sound familiar, anyways. But yeah, maybe he'll come on as like the victory home for Itsuanko. Maybe.
We'll have to give him.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's go. Alright, he's coming on.
Grab.
Hello, Ashram or Abraham? What would you prefer?
I guess Maestrom.
Ashram?
Yes.
Well, oh, fuck. Wait, sorry, give me a second. Wait, why is this not the... Wait, could you post a different replay link, by the way? I don't think that replay link works for us.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me.
You know, I'm getting the same error.
Wait. How do you? Wait.
Normally, you grab the replay just by opening it in a new tab or dragging it to a new tab.
Something like that, yeah. If you like right click and open a new tab, it should be fine.
Yep. I sent another one. Does that work?
Let me have a look.
Nah.
Put in. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. It's the same link as before. Maybe we'll ask somebody else to. Jeff, Rusty, Tanya. Wait, I thought. What's Tanya's name? Is it Clevin? Yeah, it's.
Yep. That's what I did. I copied the link address and then just pasted it.
That's strange.
I'll just at Clevin.
Does this work?
Yeah, that one is. Yeah, that one works. That one probably is correct. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I just refresh my tab and then.
Yep, no worries. But yeah, congratulations on your win. That's a massive win for Itsu Anko. Before we go on, were there any hands that you would like to talk about?
Well, there is one. The Sunshoku, the Chanta Sunshoku one. Well, yeah, that's the only thing that I was kind of.
I don't remember when that was. You need to remind me.
It was the one where I cheat the 789. Even though I have 899. Man.
I am looking.
No, it wasn't this one. Oh, wait, this one? Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, I found it. The one where you cheat the 7 mark?
Yes. I wasn't thinking too much because that hand was really already done. But then thinking about, oh, I could take a Sunshoku, just open it. But then I realized, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. But then before I can press no, I immediately press chi instead. So I just thought that. So I just go for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. We were thinking about it, and we're like, it gives you a couple options of what you can do here, but it also, a little bit awkward.
Yeah. It ended up didn't really matter, but still, I should probably have not keyed those, even though I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Was there anything else in this Hanchan that you thought was like particularly memorable to you?
Not exactly. Most of the
Mm.
time when I have a really good hand, it's just weirdly happen. They
Mm.
just come into me, all the hands just come into me, and then I just reachy and that, or just I don't particularly feel like there's anything that seems really difficult.
Yeah, so the first one in East 2, when you're sitting on the Tundora 4, again, that sort of just you just sort of fell into, you're sitting there waiting, and then the free pin comes out like
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this was an interesting one in that I think you got to this point. Were you ever
Okay,
tempted to cut the 3-pin for the better weight? Or did you feel like you really wanted to just cut the Suji?
No, in my view, it's the same way because 2-1 already comes out, and then 1-4, and I don't particularly feel like 4 is gonna come out with Richie. So
Okay.
I don't particularly feel like that's a better weight than 3-6. Granted that 6 is a dollar, so I just threw the 2. But yeah, well. Oh wait, it did end up saving me.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that like based on that argument, the main issue is that even if you consider the 1-4 a weaker weight, because there's already 2 1s cut, the 6 is probably a dead weight too, because it's like post Ricci, like only the Ricci guy is gonna deal into you, or like neither the person on your left nor the person on your right is gonna cut the 6-man, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's just what I was thinking, anyways. But it did end up saving you for sure. The not cutting the 3-pin.
yeah, no, it's hard to always knock the decision if it ends up winning you the hand, I think.
I mean,
But
I feel like yeah, maybe it's better to get a 1-4 weight. But during the time, I kept thinking that yeah, I don't think changing it does anything. And even
Okay.
though it might help a little bit, it's like a 1 or 2 tile difference. And changing my hand might make it. Here's my issue with that. If I did change my hand and then I deal in, I would be very devastated for the rest of the game. So I just choose no. I'm going to keep this. And then if I didn't change my hand, I at least have the willpower to just stay on the game. That's my thought.
The
sure,
important mental play. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. The early deal-ins can obviously really sort of can sometimes put you in that bad headspace, and you're like, oh no.
But yeah, I think other than that, we just saw some really big hands, like with the really early Ricci here, and then this one was a really nice one where you got the really solid like 2-pin draw for the Tanyao Santra Kidoro 2. That was a really good one and put you in a really solid position at the end of the Hanchan.
Yes.
Yeah, and you get able to just coast on that. You're sitting on this amount of points, and going into like the last 2 games, obviously getting that nice buffer above ANSW is really important. So you're able to just coast that to a victory. You don't need to really extend too much more from there.
Yeah. NSW and Jeff as well get a last place, so we don't particularly need to worry about him grabbing the.
Yeah, because that's what we were talking about as well. Like Ronda Run's really trying to catch you. Yeah, it's Anko, and then this Hanchan winds up being Ronda Run in 4th, it's Anko in 1st, which is like the exact opposite of what they wanted.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, that was it from me. That was mostly what I had to talk about. Veggie,
Yeah, and I'm pretty much the same. Yeah, like you sort of went over the interesting bits. Both of you guys brought them up at the start. Everything else was just just nice 12k point hands, and yeah, it was well played. You're able to just as I said, just take that and take it to a victory. You don't need to do anything else.
Thanks for that.
No worries. Congratulations on your win, by the way. That's a massive win for Itsuanko. Puts your team in a really solid position. Good job.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah. Congrats and best of luck to your team. Hopefully, you guys will take that first place crown for Itsuanko.
Fuitsuanko, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hope to see you again tomorrow night.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. So, we're going to call it a wrap there. Before we head out, we're going to have a quick look at the stats sheet. So, these are the standings as we end off Hanchans 5 and 6 of the finals. We have Itsuanko in first place on 419.75 points. AU NSW Wanderers on second place at 366.4 points. Ron Devil Ron in third place on 113.95 points. And Tanya Sensation on 58 points. We do have 2 Hanchans left, and it's going to be really a battle of who comes first or second here. Very, very long shot that either these 2 teams in the bottom will be able to make the money, with about a 253 point gap between second and third place. But if we do see some really aggressive Hanchans, then we really don't know what happens with the nature of Emily Guma. Everything's really swingy.
Yes, it is an outside chance possibility if you get 2 strong first place and the other teams take strong last. But yeah, we were expecting probably to see a fight between Itsuanko and AUNSW here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us and watching today. I want to take this time to thank the administrators for making ARMA League possible. So that's Cheese and Totoro. They put so much effort into making sure that teams submit their rosters, make sure everything runs well. Totoro is responsible for the code that gets us all these statistics. Let me bring it up. Like this sheet, this thing over here, and this thing over here, and this thing. Totoro is responsible for all of that code. It provides some really interesting statistics, and we're really thankful to him for like providing this for us and making it an available resource. Couldn't appreciate it more. And yeah, thankful to Cheese for basically just running everything. Like he's the one who
he's
like, gets
busy man.
Yeah, gets the players in, makes sure the games start on time, calls people out on accountability to make sure that like their teams are intact. It's quite like a big effort, and it makes sure that we can have these like really fun events. And
Yeah, no, well done to both of those guys.
yeah, absolutely. And thanks Veggie for coming onto the commentary and doing the commentary every Saturday. That was a good break from my schedule, that's for sure.
It was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it.
But yeah, I think we're gonna sign off there. Hopefully you guys will join us next week to see who comes first place. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yep, have a good night. Bye.